Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope the week has treated you well and I hope the day finds you well. I did not do stream yesterday. Stream was put on hold because I did not really get to the level I was hoping to on my account. The character I'm playing is a mule, and now I am at level 58. However, there is some sad news is that there are bugs in the ghoulification process. And while I am going to turn this character into a ghoul, I just am not going to do it right now. I don't feel that it's worth having it broken forever. And the reason I say that is because there's reports that once you become a ghoul, it does turn. It can actually. Okay, I'll start over. So there have been reports by several people that have had issues that when they go to do the ghoul, the quest line, it crashes on them, and when they come back, they are a ghoul, but the quest line did not complete, so it is still telling them to take the inhaler to become a ghoul, and it's broken. Another thing that I need to think about is also the mutations. So I've got mutations, so that means that once it is fixed, I'm gonna keep my mutations until the very end of the quest, and then I'm going to go ahead and take some things to get me irradiated, remove starch genes, and then, excuse me, take rat away to get rid of all the mutations, because that also can negatively impact your character depending on the mutations. So it is something that you have to be very careful about. That a lot of people are having issues with because they didn't read the print. You know, a lot of people don't read any of the information that's provided before they do something. It's just like, oh, okay, click. They're just so excited. So I do want to make sure that I do this the right way, so that way that their character is like as it was intended to be. I don't want it to be broken. I don't want to have hindrances, because you already do have hindrances with the ghoul process. There's a lot of armor you can't use, the prefixes you can't use, like overeaters, unyielding, and a couple others. So you have to be very thoughtful in what you're going to do. And I realized yesterday that um, I hadn't been as thoughtful. I was like, I'm just gonna do it, get it over and done with, and then we're gonna gameplay and see how it works. But it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. um, yeah, it is like, okay, I gotta stop, take a break, because this is gonna be another character that I'm gonna be doing my streams built off of, and I want to make sure that it is it's flawless, you know. Of course, there's gonna be bugs in the game. I understand that, um, and that's what I'm trying to avoid right now. So, um, come with me. We're going to just do some more level ups, get some things ready, and probably build a new camp, because I have this one, and this is a popular spot um, by White Spring Station. So the other one I have is right here, but it's my Fashnot one, and this one needs to be completely overhauled. I don't want to do that right now because it gets shot at a lot, and I might move it. So I have many more camp spots. Look at these that I can build. I got a lot. Got several. Hubby has been very kind to me when I ever expressed that, oh, I really want to build a camp, but I don't have any spots because I like them. And he's like, here, uh, go put some add-ons on your account and build, get another camp spot. My hubby, oh my gosh, I can't. I talk about him almost every stream because I'm just so lucky to have a man like him. Who is a diamond in the Roth for sure. He's rare. Men like him are hard to come by, but they're out there. You just have to weed through and be mindful, and they don't always uh, show up as is. It is a learning process. And with him, with me, with our past, it's been a learning curve. He had never been treated the way that he's treated with me. He was scared and he didn't know how to like navigate those feelings. So it was like self destruction, sabotage, and all that jazz. So uh, it was a learning curve, and both of us. I'm not going to say I was perfect. I did not. I came into this relationship with wounds as well, not wounds from old relationships, but wounds from childhood. And so we have been going through, and I was healing through that. Now I'm healing through our relationship, what happened at the beginning, and who is there to support me as we go on this journey and healing together. So, I absolutely love that man, and I thank God for him, who is who is a blessing. When people say that blessings aren't real, um, I I I beg to differ. I have been blessed, and not in the way that a lot of people expect. People are like, oh, where's your wealth? Where's your money? And it's like it's not built in materialistic things. I My blessings come to me in a matter that I was found, my cancer was found just in time, um, so my body can heal. That was a blessing from God. I have a man that will listen to me, nurture me, who, just as I nurture him, he listens, he makes me feel heard and understood. And if he doesn't understand, he tries to understand. He's patient, and he provides a level of intimacy that is beyond the sexual nature. It is intimacy that is emotional, and he wants that connection just as much as I do. There's lots of things that I really don't know what words to put into. It's just lots of things that he does that I don't see in society a lot of men doing, and um, I can only I can only chalk it up to God helping him, because he's starting to listen to that inner voice inside to help direct him to the right way to go, the right way to react, the right thing to do in that moment of where I am expressing a pain point. Whereas he used to get upset and angry, now he is patient, and he will sit down and help me walk through that emotion together. Like he helps like work through it with me and not against me. He doesn't take anything personal. He takes this as me and him against this problem. So it's just I really can't. I gotta boast about him because he is a blessing to me, and all the blessings I've been given. This new lease on life, the blessing of having God in my life and everything that it's done. It's turned my life around. I've done a complete 180 from how I used to feel to how I feel now. How I used to perceive the world to how I perceive it now. How I used to perceive life and death and everything. Everything's changed, and it's all because of God and His compassion and His love and mercy and His willingness and ability to forgive us through Christ. It is just amazing, and I get chills every time I think about it. And let's go ahead. I'll get to the game, I promise. But I just wanted to talk on those points. I'm on a little later because my hubby has a doctor's appointment, so he's not going to be home until later. I was going to do this earlier, but I got caught up watching the Days of Noah. The Days of Noah go through scripture, and it's very educational. I'd highly recommend it. It's a 4-part series, and that will actually help you like delve more deeply into how we've been taught, and the truth of the matter. So I definitely urge anyone, if they want to watch something that's educational and sticks to scripture. It's actually like truthful, and and not deceiving, which a lot of these places are. It speaks about the true Sabbath. It speaks about the true nature of God, and it also speaks about the deception that we have been enduring for centuries. So, very highly recommend that. I could watch it over and over, and I say that because as I watch it, I learn something new. There's like, I try to get my attention on it, and it's just like every time I watch it, there's a little bit of something else that comes in. So, yeah, let's go ahead and I guess we'll do our dailies. That is the first thing. These seem. Oh, I guess I better go back to my camp because they seem simple enough. For sure. Um, if you haven't yet, there are plenty of board games. I haven't discovered it on this tune here, but there is the White Spring Bunker. Right on top of that, there's two board games. But also the new location. The new location that's up here. I haven't been up there yet. On this tune, on my main, I have. Up here, the new location, kind of where this camp is. If you go south, it's like in I want to say in this area right here. Um, that is a place that you get board games. Lots of board games. Another location is inside the White Spring Refuge. If you go down to, I think it's the supply closet. There's a bunch. I'll show you. Let's go to White Spring. Oh, let's do a couple of dailies first. We're gonna drink Nuka-Cola. I have a bunch of Nuka-Cola. And let's switch to cherry. 1, 2. Oh, it has to be regular. Wait, what? Drink Nuka-Cola. Oh, Nuka-Cola Dark. Okay. I was like, oh, why is it not registering? I don't have Nuka Dark. This account is like so, it doesn't have a lot. The spoiled meat is because it gives me 10% food. And it doesn't weigh anything. So, I mean, it gives me a lot of rads. These I won't use because it takes more. But, I have healing. And it's gonna be good for my character once I do turn into a ghoul. So, scorched. We will just avoid the scorched. So there's a hole right here you can avoid. Just go up to here. My AP drains so much faster. I just want to get up and around here before the enemies spawn. I'll probably be followed by the mole rats, but that's okay. I can take them. I want to discover this location. Got caps. There we go. That's what I wanted. Alright, so you come here to the service station, and you just go to the back, and there's usually 2 board games. Right here. Some caps, too. Cap. Always need caps. So there's a board game. I'll leave the other one for somebody else. We'll have to go to the resort to get some Nuka-Cola. But let's go ahead and visit this this best camp build here. Since we're just right by it, might as well get as many done as possible. And then we can start building on the... We could start building the camp. I've got you for an hour to do my hour stream because I gotta do dinner. Dinner tonight is just pasta. We're having some pasta with Alfredo sauce. And then I might make a side cucumber salad. I'm gonna probably do crab ragoon cucumber salad. I don't think they have an entrance. Oh yeah, it's right here. Camps like this confuse me. Like, no hate. Everyone has their own builds. But it's like it's a best build, and best builds are usually it's the like process of building. Like you're wanting to show off your ability to be creative, and I guess I just don't understand camps that are like this. All right, let's go into the refuge. Refuge, we have to go in for Bubbles. He usually has Nuka-Cola Dark. And then after Bubbles, I think he only carries one. We can go down to Nuka World on tour. And they also, the vending machine down there for Nuka Cola also has one. So that'll give us our two Nuka Cola Darks. And then if we do happen to do a server hop, I will probably buy two for hubby when he gets on because he helps me a lot with this game. So I'm gonna clear my throat because my voice. Oh, that's better. Still healing. As you can tell, my voice isn't 100%. But it's doing better. I also refrained from singing today. I refrained from that because it puts strain on my voice, and it's not healing like I should. That's my fault because I don't practice self control. I like singing, so
You mean I ain't gonna make it?
that's the guy you have to talk to get the.
Me too. I'm so sorry, Mr. Price.
Nice to see you're already here. You might as well invest in the future.
I'd hope to live long enough to see.
Oh, these robots.
Alright, so Bubbles is right here. And there he is.
Carrying all those stamps.
Nuka Dark.
Exclusive to the White Spring early release bottles of
I don't think I have any tickets. Yeah, I've got none. I got 10. I don't think you can buy any. I don't think you can buy anything for 10. I have 10 and I think 20 stamps for the loose. Yeah, I couldn't get anything from him yet. I haven't done any of the quest lines, so this account is going to be completely new. It's still a baby. I have been just let's go ahead and toggle these inactive.
You're already here. You might as well invest in the future.
Not that scribe training.
Orlando is very charming, but
There we go.
to be honest with you, I'm not really sure.
I'm trying to find the supply closet. It's down here, I think. Maybe it's in here in the game room. Yeah, at the game room, not supply. This game room. So, all these board games. So if you're looking for board games, whenever you have this challenge, this would be a good place. Especially if you have to collect more than one. If it's like a weekly and you have to collect like 3 to 5 or whatever. They're on those and on that table. So, I mean, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in here. So plenty to go around. And of course, you have the one at the new location. There's also another location down here. I want to say it's the Bounty. I'm not too sure, but I think it's the Bounty that also has a bunch of board games. So, all right, so let's go ahead and go down to Nuka World. It's a free fast travel. I have to kill an enemy in the Toxic Valley region.
I heard about that.
I don't think I've really been to the Toxic Valley region. I haven't. Oh no. I guess I could go here and then walk over.
Not somewhere.
Help support the responders.
But there's gonna be some ghouls here, so I could probably finish it at this location. And then I don't know if the Grafton Dam is considered in the Toxic Valley, or if it's the Toxic, or the Savage Divide or Forest, because it's like right on the edge of all of them. So I'm not too sure if I should go there, but I'll just go up to the Pioneer Scout camp and then go either north or go east, because there's always enemies in these areas, especially like in this location here. Lots. I usually go to is I'll go to this spot right here, Hemlock Holes. I usually go to Hemlock Holes and go down. There's like a bunch of enemies. You have the Grafton Monster. You usually have 2 or 3 Snallygasters, and then you have a bunch of Rad Roaches. And then if you go over a little bit more like towards this location here, you can find, so it's like you go to Hemlock Holes, and Hemlock Holes, I want to say it's like right in this location. It's in between this spot and this. It's the place where you get your, it's a workshop type thing. If you go just south of that, there's like a tower. It's just like it's like right next to it. Lots of bugs there. I think there's like 3 or 4. So in that area, you can get a lot of, like if you want to, there's a weekly for bugs. You could just stay in that area and over. Or if you want to get it done in one server, you could do there. Go over here to the Aaron Holtz homestead. There's bugs just south of that. And then if you go up over here into this map, and you come into I think it's around this area here where my cursor is at. Because if you go to there's like a little fun house up here. If you go to the fun house and then you just kind of go northeast, there is a spot that has a bunch of bugs there too. So you can quite finish that, but you know, that's if you want to fast travel. And of course you could go any place here. There's lots of ticks and stuff. So just a couple places that I usually go to for my dailies and weeklies, since we are in a new season. It's going to be helpful. And then you have to complete an event. So let's see, do we have any events? No, I mean we can do BattleBot, but it's just going to take us a lot because I'm only level 50. BattleBot's down here, so it'll be like it'll be a little far from where we need to go. But no, it's close by, I guess. It's not too far from Nuka World on tour. I just keep like looking at the clock. Hubby is gonna be off in like 5 minutes. I know I won't be able to see him for like another hour and 20 minutes or so because of his doctor's appointment. He hurt his shoulder a couple months ago, and he's been going to PT, and they're always behind. So he goes to PT and does his exercises. It's the same. He has the same doctor, same physical therapist as his dad does. His dad had to have surgery on his rotator cuff, so he goes to physical therapy. But they usually run late, and then his physical therapy is like 45 minutes long, so it's just he gets home like an hour 20 minutes, hour 15 minutes. Auto miners. Alright, you ready? Ah! Oh my goodness gracious, I need to... I remember like how hard it was to take him down. There we go. Sweet. Alright, we got 2 more weapons to do. I always worry about the like a Blue Devil or a Deathclaw. There's a couple of times I got the Blue Devil, and I'm not really good at taking the Blue Devil down with this level yet. Alright, I gotta pick up all of it because this is the first time. Oh. It's the first time I've done, this event on this character, I believe, so I have to, unfortunately. And it's already been looted, so it's already open. You still do have to... You still do have to, do the keypad, even if it's open. It's just that means that someone's already, looted everything that's inside, so there's probably not going to be a lot of loot left to do it. Alright, so the key to this is to not wait for it to register. So just click it and quickly run, and then click again, and then the master shutdown will be there. You don't want to wait for it to register, because if you do, and I'm shocked that there's a bunch here to loot. There's the event. I'm going to keep the circuitry boards here because those have circuitry, and my hubby needs circuitry. Yeah, 2 circuitry each. Sweet. I don't think the fuses have circuitry, but I need to remind myself to, anything that has circuitry, I need to save for him, because I've already done that weekly, and he died when he was collecting, and then he disconnected. So once you do exit the world, and if he has a loot bag that's is from the atomic shop, not a paper bag, so that means that the bag will disappear, which is unfortunate. We found that out the hard way because I was just starting out with my main on this account, because I was using my brother's for a time, and my brother was getting really ridiculous, and he was really harsh. He did not treat me well. So with that, my hubby was like, let's go ahead and make you another account, just in case he decides to remove your access. And so he did. He made me a new account. I transferred everything over as much as I could. I only left a few caps on that account. I did leave my favorite weapon because I was still playing at the time. And then a few other items I would need. Nothing too crazy. So I was leveling that tune up. I still had access to my other one, my main at the time, my brother's account. And I was playing.
Building this place up is hard work.
I was playing on both accounts. I got to like 383, I want to say, on that account. And then all of a sudden, password changed. I lost access to that account. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Can I just get on there and then you can change your password again? But let me just get my gear off because there's still stuff on that account that I want to get. And he was like, no. It's like, no, you're not gonna. And the reason that he said it was because he didn't trust me. And I was like, what do you mean you don't trust me? I haven't done anything to make you not trust me. I've never done anything. And he was like, oh, I don't trust you being on that account because you might buy stuff or steal from me. And I was like, how am I going to steal from you? It's your account. And the funny thing is, at the time, my name was still on their bank account because my checks were going into their, into the bank account. So I was like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to steal, because my money was still going in there. And I had given them a lot of money, and it's just like, it didn't make any sense. I've never done anything to make anyone distrust me in my family, or I don't think I've done it with anybody, honestly. I've always tried to be as transparent, honest as possible, and it was just really dumbfounding to me. I'm not perfect, you know. There could be times where maybe I did you know, make someone, like, if I would have said something and I didn't do it, you know, things happen to all of us where we are like, oh yeah, we could do that for you, and then we're not able to, due to reasons outside of our control. And those people are not understanding, like, hey, you know, I can't do this. It's not that I don't want to. It's just like I'm not physically able to because of, and this is the reason. And they don't understand that, you know, like, hey, you know, if you still need help at this point, I can help you then. But like right now, I'm not able to. But I try to be, you know, open and honest with everyone. And the fact that he said that, it hurt my feelings, because it hurt me, because it's like, what did I do to make you seem distrustful? And so that was his excuse, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And I just started on my main now on this account. It was just, it was something I didn't quite understand. And I still to this day don't. Like, he doesn't talk to me anymore. And he does. Like, if he does talk to me, he always apologizes for how he's treated me in the past. And he's like, oh, we need to be more to, like, known with each other and talk to each other. And I'm like, that's fine with me. I'm not the one who's not in contact. You know, I reach out to them, often. I at least once a month. I try to go longer because I try to say, hey, you know, I also need some reciprocal. I can't, like, when they what's that word? I could, it's in my head, but I can't say it. It's a tongue twister for me. I would like them to reciprocate, you know, they're saying that they want the relationship with me, but I'm the only one putting effort in to have this relationship with my family. So, there's one time I talked, and, him and his, it was fiance at the time. They're not together anymore in that sense, but, they were up, and he was talking to me on my dad usually has me on speakerphone when I speak. And he just starts breaking down crying and telling me how sorry he was, and that he does want a relationship with me. He's my brother, and we need to act like siblings. And I'm like, I'm not the one who decided to stop talking. I have been calling. I tried calling his number when he lived in California, and every time I would try to call, it would no answer. And if he did answer, he'd be like, oh, I can't talk right now, I'm too busy. And it's like, okay, just call me when you have a chance. I never hear back from him. And I'm making the effort to say, hey, you know, I don't care about the past. I don't care about that. I just want my family and my life. I want to know what's going on with everybody. I want to know that you're okay. And I want to know, you know, if there's anything I can help with. And besides money, it seems like that's the only time that I'm ever needed is for money. And the fact that I don't give in to them anymore, because I currently am not at the financial part to give them money, because when I first moved here, I had savings, and that savings was just dwindled down to nothing within a month. And they felt that it was unfair for me to take my money that I earned with me, and I only gave them a portion of it. They wanted it all, and I think they felt entitled to it. And why, I don't know. I had paid my dues every paycheck. At one point, my entire 100% of the paycheck went into their bank account directly. And I rarely got to see any of that. Even if I had to pay a bill, I wasn't able to. And the only bill I had at the time, I had a credit card. And that credit card I got because I wanted to build my credit. I had an 800 credit score. I wanted to maintain, to be able to buy a house at some point. And it was just not enough for them. I paid when we were moving. I was just working for a grocery store I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. And I had got a credit card, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this to pay for gas, but I need the money that I make to pay it back, so I can just start building that history And then my parents like, oh, when we moved from one location to another, my parents bought a house. I'm the one who paid for the moving. I'm the one who paid to go down south. I'm the one who paid to provide them with the down payment. I don't ever remember being thanked for any of that, but their happiness was my thanks. And I just let it go. My biggest mistake was that, allowing people to use me and not seeing at the time that that's all I was. I'm sure that they love me, but the fact that they just kept taking and never giving back to me, it really did hurt. And then it comes to a part where I'm like, okay, I need to pay this, right? And I told them up front about this, and they're like, oh, we need to use your credit card to pay for the U-Haul and for the gas. They maxed out my credit card. And I'm like, okay, I need to pay this back. I never got the payment. I asked, never got the payment. So it defaulted. I went to collections. I had a different job at this point, and I paid that off. It scarred my credit, so I had to start rebuilding again. And then it went to more things where even though my parents were getting like 100% of my paycheck at this time, it was still not enough. It would be like, oh, we can't pay mortgage. I'm like, how can you not pay mortgage? Can't pay mortgage, we need you to fix it. I was always the one to fix. It was just me, fix. I didn't create it, but I was supposed to be the one to fix it. And all that weight on me was just so much. And I did it. I did it because I loved them and I wanted to see them happy. But when it comes to me being like stressed out and vocal about how the things are going, it would always be me being, no, you're being ridiculous, or I'd be made out to be the bad guy. So I just, it was just so hard for me to let go when I moved. When I met my hubby, he had started to learn about the things, because it'd be like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, like, because it was like we were making plans to for me to go to visit, and we made the plans to visit, and then I was like, I gotta get money saved up. He's like, well, just push money aside. And I was like, well, my check goes all into my parents' account. And he's like, why are you doing that? And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, that's not normal. I could see you paying rent, but you shouldn't be giving them 100% your check. So finding out that was not normal, is at this point I had been so, like, I don't know how to say it, and I'm not speaking bad about my parents at all. I love them, and I don't hold an accountability. Let me have a texted me. I was just telling him to drive safe. He's gotta go. He's on his way to his doctor's appointment right now. So I don't speak in a negative way for them. I'm not trying to shed them in a negative light. This is just my experience of what made me kind of wake up to, like, hey, you may love your family, but you have to set boundaries. You have to set healthy boundaries in order for your relationship to be healthy. And I didn't do that. I didn't set boundaries. I was completely naive. So that's what this is. It's not my parents did what they thought was okay, and with me not setting boundaries, they didn't understand that it was draining of me. They didn't understand. So I don't hold it against them. what I do is learn from the things that I've gone through. I do want to learn from all the mistakes that I've made of not building and creating clear boundaries. So we have to kill a cryptid and go to Toxic Valley and then build. The building will be the last part we'll do. We'll do the cryptid and everything and go up north and do all that at once. Or we can actually, let's go here. Let's go here to do the, let's say I don't mind spending the caps. So that's pretty much what the story is, on why I share my story. It is because it is like, this is what happened to me, and this is the reason why it happened. And it's a learning curve, and I choose not to push blame. I don't choose to harbor ill feelings or hatred or anything to that. I still keep in contact with my family. I call at least once a month to make sure everything's okay. I make sure everybody, even my brother's fine. They still don't check up on me. That hasn't changed. I don't remember the last time I got a phone call from them, and I don't get a text from any of my siblings. Nobody makes any effort, but I do. Every month I try to do at least one phone call to see how everybody's doing, to let them know that, hey, I'm here, and I'm still, you know, like, wanting the best for you guys. I still love you guys. You're my family, for crying out loud. I don't want to see us be strangers. So I put the effort into it. And I understand that they don't have that ability. Maybe I don't know what they seem to still be like, they're still, I think, a little resentful for me leaving. Because with me being gone, my paycheck followed, my money followed. And then when I got my big cash out, when I cashed out my savings, by savings I mean 401k, I did cash that out because that's what I was using to move across country, to start a new life, and I did give them money, and it just wasn't enough, you know. When I first moved here, I got 2 separate phone calls from them, and it wasn't, oh, hey, how are you doing, or anything. It was just, hey, can we borrow? And the borrow was not borrow. It was because I never get paid back. They needed money, so and then at that point, I was like, I can't really keep giving you guys money. You know, I'm trying to build a life here, and at that moment I wasn't working, and like, this savings is what's going to get me through until, you know, I get situated. So it was just like, it was really hard, because I finally, like, came to that conclusion, and that that's all I was to them. It was just money. And then I started to understand the behaviors, and then I had to start learning how to heal and not resent people for how they treated me. I had to understand, you know, how they were treated and how that bled into how they treated me. The things that happened in my childhood that also led to resentment. So I had to understand the behaviors and the reason behind those behaviors, and I had to be very understanding. And I had to, there's a word I'm looking for. I had to show empathy and compassion for everyone, despite how they may have treated me. I'm not going to treat them the same. I'm not going to show them that this is all that there is. I'm going to show them that there's still love, and there's still hope. There's still people who care, despite on how they may feel. Oh. This is a reward. Love it. What do you got for me? Halloween. Oh, straight jacket. Nothing good. What notes do they have for me? Cuckoo clock and Nuka-Cola clock. I know both of those, apparently. And I don't know where these two go. These keep appearing in my thing all the time. So, I can actually buy these, and if I buy them, You can sell them for your at your camp much more because this is a rare bot to get. He has really rare um, 13 caps for that, 21 for that. I can just scrap it and get better. Let's see what we've got to sell. Blood packs. I can make. I don't need them actually. Radex I don't need. Radex. Radaway I do need. Okay, let me go ahead and remove some of these stem packs. 10 stack weight is crazy. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, so that's good. It gives me some caps. And I can always get some off of Hobby. I have a bunch on my main. So, I'll probably do that. Yeah, those are good. That's awesome. He's really hard. I can't tell you the last time that I found this guy on my main, much less on this guy this soon. So, but back to the story. Train of thought kind of derailed for a second when I saw him. So part of that was a journey all itself. I did a lot of crying. I did a lot of self-reflecting because I know that. Yeah, I got the trigger receiver on that one. I know that I had things that I had to learn. So, yeah, it was a hard journey, but no matter how painful, how uncomfortable it gets, you still have that light at the end of the tunnel, and that is that when you're healing, you start to feel the weight just lift, and you start to understand more about the Bible, and when you start to really delve into it, because at one point in my life, when I moved here, I started to resent my parents, and I was like, I'm gonna just cut them off. I'm not gonna talk to them anymore. They want nothing to do with me. So if they want nothing to do with me, then why am I still reaching out to them? And this is where I started to, like, when I started to get more into like more connected with God and walking down that path, it really opened my eyes that love conquers all. And when you show someone love, that starts to heal them. So that's what I do. You know, I will call at least once a month, sometimes more. It really depends. But I always make sure to check in on them. I always make sure to know that they're always in my thoughts, they're always in my prayers. I always want to know what's going on. I tell them, you know, if there's anything that happens, just let me know. And I'm usually am one of the they do message me if something happens. So it's getting to that point, and I'm happy that it is getting to that point because I want that relationship with my family. I want them to know that if they feel ashamed or whatever feeling that they feel for how things happened, I want them to know that I don't hold anything against them. I don't hold anything against them. That is forgiven. It's in the past. And for them just to take like the accountability and say, hey, you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the way that you were treated. I'm sorry for you feeling like you didn't belong to our family. I'm sorry for you feeling like you weren't wanted. Like I just want them to take accountability for something. Everything else can just follow through, you know? It'll be like, it's water under a bridge. Let's go forward and just be more loving towards each other. And the accountability of someone is like truthful. I don't know if a lot of people realize how powerful that is for a person to heal, to hear, hey, you know, you felt this way. That was not the intention. That was not it. And we're sorry that our actions made you feel that way. Because when I was able to get that from my hubby, this is after all the things that we've gone through. So all the things that we've gone through, and to hear when he apologized, like when he had his moment, and he apologized for the abuse, and he showed that it wasn't his intention. He didn't want to hurt me. He didn't know what happened. He didn't know why he behaved the way that he did. He didn't understand, but he still took accountability for it because he did. Why did you guys see that glowed? That's interesting for the Mirelurk. But his apology, you know, it was sincere, and that was a pivotal moment where I was able to be like, okay. It went from caution to hidden. Caution to, I just got one more. So maybe we can lure him out. Oh, it's like right here. That's okay. Take that south. That should be all of them. I'm glad they're Mirelurks, and usually sometimes it'll be a Deathclaw this year, so I was happy for the Mirelurks. Give me the points. So I don't know if I want to go too much further. Simply because it's just me, and I'm so squishy right now. There's like blood eagles down there. Oh, cultists. I thought they were blood eagles. They don't know I'm here. That can stay that way. So I don't want to like say that an apology. The apology, honestly, when you apologize to somebody, that apology is for you, because you're letting it go. When you're sincere and you're apologizing to that person, it's for you to be able to say, and you're letting it go. You know, you're speaking into existence that you're acknowledging that you did something that hurt, misled, whatever it was, you know. You could have accidentally broken something, or accidentally bumped into somebody, but the apology is still saying, oh, sorry, it was something that I just did, and I didn't mean to. I apologize. I honestly didn't want to. And of course, if it gets deeper, if it's something that's like serious, you know, if someone hurt you, or you hurt somebody, if you did hurt someone, intentionally, unintentionally, whatever it is, and you're apologizing, it's not if they accept it or not, you know. If you are sincere in your apology, if you're sincere and you're taking accountability for that action or the words, that is for you. That is for you to be able to release and move on, and to heal. Now, it's not that you're... Oh, I'm sorry. No, I am talking about like a sincere apology where you did self-reflecting and you're like, I can't believe I did this. Like, what was I thinking? Why did I do this? That sincere apology where you feel convicted and it's just a wrestling in your soul, that is for you, because you can't force somebody to accept your apology. If you're sincere and you're opening up to somebody about the apology and you're like, I didn't mean to do this, just that's not my intention. It could be like a misunderstanding, like with my hubby and I, for example. It doesn't work for abuse and stuff. Now that, those you have to really show and put the work into it. But it's more of like the apology of where your sincerity is that, my hubby and I, there was a point where his actions were making me feel like I wasn't what he wanted. You know, I wasn't who he wanted. And he didn't know, you know, he he was doing what he thought was okay, and what it came down to was lack of communication, and that was both of our parts. So it stemmed from lack of communication. But anyway, what he did was he apologized. And that apology, it was for me too, because I accepted, I understood when we talked, because he explained to me what was going through his mindset. You know, it's those discussions that are hard, because it's like emotions are involved. And when you're telling your partner, I don't feel like I'm desired, I don't feel like you want me anymore, I don't feel that. And it can be difficult. You can feel attacked maybe, and we've gotten to the point where he has grown so much that what he used to do he no longer does. That was one of the apologies that he did, is that he apologized for the reactiveness, and then he gave me like what had happened, like what caused him to react that way. And it made me understand, and I got patient with him. So every time he would react that way, it would be like, okay, let's take a step back. You're getting reactive, and he wouldn't even know that he was getting reactive. And then we're like, okay, why are you feeling this way? Like, what is it that that makes you feel that way? So both of our needs were being met that time. So like the apology really helped, because I knew it was sincere. So every time it would start to occur, I would be able to, like, we would both be able to say, okay, hold up, you know, something's going on. I'm getting reactive again. It's just the same thing with me, because I also had a tendency to be aka triggered by certain things. And I found out that those triggers were something that was tied to my childhood. So yeah, an apology. That's what it took, an apology. The apology was sincere and from the heart. And that helped me move forward from that and understand things on a deeper level. So I'm not saying that, again, it's not like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, something that's not sincere. I am talking about a sincere apology that is coming from someone's heart, where they honestly did not mean to make you feel that way when it comes to being done wrong. And it could be a cheating partner. It could be someone who got hot-headed and said things that they didn't mean. It really does fall under a lot of things. And I know you said cheating. You're probably like, what do you mean? If someone cheats on me, I'm gone. Well, yes. I mean, if it's someone who's a serial cheater and you've gone through periods where you're like, you've talked to them and they're still continuing to do it, even though you've been very vocal, and try to communicate with them. If they're the person who's shutting you down and not communicating, there's nothing you can do. You can't force yourself to communicate with that person. And I mean, you can't force that person to communicate with you, is what I mean. I'm sorry. And so, you know, in those instances, it's very difficult to as a me, to kind of guide through. That's where you definitely want to get into prayer and fasting with God, and ask Him for for guidance from you, for discernment, for wisdom, on what your next move should be, and let Him guide you. Because with me, it was apology after apology after apology after apology. They weren't sincere. It was really followed through by apology, it was empty, and he'd do it again. Apology, empty, do it again. Repetitiveness. And there are so many nights that I cried myself to sleep. This is at a point where I was praying. I was like, God, I don't know what to do. People say stay, people say leave, and I was just so confused. And I was like, I love him. Like, what do I need to do? And there was just this. There's a Nuka-Cola Wild right there. there was just this part of me that was just like, hang on, you know, just hang on, just hang on. You're gonna see why I'm telling you to hang on. And I couldn't understand the voice. I didn't know who it was coming from. I didn't understand any of what was going on. And it was just like we get into arguments a lot. And I would just like pour my heart out to him, just hoping. It's like, please just let him listen to me. Let him hear the pain. And it went on for a little bit. The abuse, I want to say like the physical abuse, it was about a year. And like the physical sexual abuse was a year. And then I want to say that
Looks like it might rain later.
the sexual abuse didn't stop with the just him. He also disregarded my my safety when he wanted to open the relationship. And he made it seem like, and he didn't do anything. I didn't say no, because I was so scared of losing him that I agreed, and I was just going along with it because it was like, you know, this is gonna be what keeps him happy. And if this means that I get to stay and he won't leave me, then I'm gonna do what he wants me to do. So I did. I got into a lifestyle, and that put me in danger a couple of times where I felt like I was taken advantage of because I was heavily intoxicated, unable to say yes or no, because I don't remember. I still to this day I don't remember saying yes or no. I don't remember any of what happened. It's just what I've been told. So oh, it's over there. So he put me in danger. I was put in a situation a couple of times I was taken advantage of. He was there. One of the events he was completely passed out. So the person took advantage of me multiple times in that one night. And another instance where he was so busy playing a video game that he didn't know what was the guy was doing in the next room while I was passed out.
Attention, citizens.
So
strike imminent.
It was
The area at your earliest
it was a part of me that I had to come to terms with and forgive him for that, because I did hold him responsible. He was supposed to protect me, and I don't feel like he did. I didn't feel like he even cared what happened to me, you know. And then, you know, as the time went on, I started to heal, and we started to communicate more, and we would bring up these painful parts of what happened in our relationship. And I would finally start to understand how he felt, you know. And when he started to grow and mature more in our relationship, and started to make the change from that depressed, angry person to someone who's understanding, patient, calm, and loving, we started to have those conversations more and more, and we started to heal more and more, got closer to God, and it was just the growth that you see. And when people are like, oh, I could never ever forgive someone for doing stuff like that to me, you'd be surprised on who and how you can forgive, because forgiveness is so easy. And I always think of it as like, wow, if Jesus, if I can be forgiven for the things that I've done, you know, the things I've done, why can't I forgive anybody else? If Jesus and God can forgive me, I am more than capable of extending that mercy and that forgiveness to other people. So I stopped harboring hatred. I stopped harboring resentment. I stopped harboring these ill feelings. And I would just learn from it. I feel, and I will try, if the person is open, to communicate with them, like with my hubby, of course. Communication is key for our relationship, but it is the same for everybody else, you know. I want to be able to say and extend that forgiveness. Is that it? Oh, 3, okay. To everyone else. I don't. The one thing I always ask myself is, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? I don't know what the person's going through. I don't know what their mindset is at. I don't know anything about what's going on inside. And you might be like, oh yeah, but that it's true that it may be my partner, but there's even things that your partner may not tell you because they're ashamed. They're ashamed. They think that you're going to judge them. They think that you're going to think less of them if they become vulnerable, because that's how, especially men, a lot of men are raised, because they're like, you can't show emotion, no crying. They don't know how to regulate and work through those emotions. So it's something that's unfamiliar to them. So when they're put in that position where they have to, all of a sudden, with this partner that they have, try and weed through all these emotions, they don't know how to do that. So they do things. And sometimes they get scared, especially with my husband. He's tried to self-sabotage because he was terrified. He was terrified about how he was feeling. He was terrified about how he was being treated. He's like, this is too good to be true. He was thinking that I was going to end up breaking his heart. And so I started to be able to understand, better on what was going on. And with me understanding him better, he was able to understand me better, because it was just like this, it was just like power exchange, it was like, here, let me be vulnerable, and then when he's vulnerable, I'm his strength, and it's just back and forth, and it was just a beautiful thing for us to witness, as we grow, and to see each other, like, come out of this cocoon of old ways of being raised, of just like what society had put on us. So it's just like, I give that all to God for sure, because if it was not for God, I honestly don't think that I would have had the strength to carry on in this relationship with how broken I felt. And I do feel like I do feel like that my vase, like I just picture myself as a vessel, and here comes life just plummeting a hammer and breaking it into dust, but then God taking that dust and reforming me into something even more beautiful, or like a cocoon, like of butterflies. One thing I remember telling hubby is like, it's like you go in as a caterpillar, and then you go in that cocoon, and your body is completely transformed into something unrecognizable. That's how I view God. I view Him coming in and taking what it is that I am now, the person, the brokenness and the pain, and turning that into something beautiful. I got here just in time. I'm so happy. I don't know if I did enough damage to get anything from... Oh, I did. Yeah. Oh, there's like a horde of animals right there. I'll let them do that because... Yeah. Ah! I don't want to be dead. I got there just in time. That makes me happy because I have not done a... I haven't done a queen... I don't know what's going on. Why did you do that, game? Exit. Ow. Just go. Oh, there's another. If I can get a hit on it. Just gotta go down quick. Yeah. I don't have like really strong weapons for this, but it is a vampire, so it keeps me alive. And vampires is that, oh no. I'm so, okay, there we go. Vampires is that, you will, like every time you hit an enemy, it will give you a percentage of your, health back. So, let's see if I can actually, fast travel away. We'll go to Fleiswater. So, yeah, sidetracked, I apologize, but that's just like food for thought. That's kind of like my experience so far, and, I felt like I had to share that today, because I've been seeing a lot of things where people meet a person, and this person is unlike anything others, but it's the most difficult relationship, and it's because sometimes when God puts somebody in your life, that person is meant to disrupt you. A person is meant to test you and to bring out the person that is like hidden away. And yes, there are relationships that are bad, that are not ordained by God. They're not. They're something that Satan, especially when it comes to lustfulness, this is where it's definitely worth, praying over and just letting God take over. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Darn mole rat. And that's like one of the things that I kind of would say often, but it's like I never really took it to heart too much of what I was actually saying, and I know it was nothing I did. Like I know that I don't know if they're shooting at me. It says I'm still hidden. I don't know. Let's go here. Back to my camp. Oh, no. I'm hidden, though. Oh, now it's in caution because I'm moving. Oh, story one. I missed it. Darn. I fast traveled before I could say no. But those are the times where, you really have to go to God and to have Him direct you, because there is very well might have been a purpose, might have been a trial that you're going through to make you stronger, to help you grow, and that God's not going to put you in anything that's going to put you in danger. So the abusiveness, I didn't go through, when I say abuse, it wasn't a lot of like physical abuse that was like hitting with fists and threatening with knives and guns. No, this was simply, and I'm not saying simply because abuse is abuse, but it was not in a part where I felt like I was in danger. I didn't feel like he was going to threaten my life. I didn't feel like he was going to do something to hurt me severely. He was just doing something that was like hair pulling. He slapped me, and he would do things like twist my, nips, to a point where I would cry and call out in pain. It felt like torture, but it wasn't at a point where I felt like I was in danger of my life, because God will never put you in a position where your life is in danger. He would never forsake you. So those are the points where you definitely have to be like, okay, I have to get out of here, because I'm in danger. I'm talking about someone who is lost, someone who is exhibiting symptoms of where like I can really explain like my hubby. And I'm probably digging myself into a hole here because people are going to listen. I'm like, oh, I'm not condoning anything. I'm not saying women should stay with abusive men. I am saying that if you have a man, and they exhibit a behavior, but with the time given, they are able to see that behavior and recognize that it's wrong, and they make an effort to change that behavior. That is where you have to be like, okay, maybe this is deeper. Maybe something else is driving him. And demons are very real, and they will get into your ear hole, and they will say things and make you do things. And honestly, with what was going on with him, at the time the abuse was, he was heavily drinking. And when he drink a lot, that's when it would get worse. So I was like, okay. And I made that decision. I don't know, like, where, or how I knew at the time. I didn't know. I just knew that I was crying every night. I was trying to ask why. I was just so broken, and I would always just be like in my head, like, please, just God, why am I here? Like, what do I do? What did I do to deserve this? And I was at one point thinking it was punishment, and that's where I really got derailed, is because the enemy took this opportunity, what God was doing, and the enemy perverted it, and to make me feel like this was punishment from God, that I deserved this treatment. So at first, I was in the victimhood. I wasn't doing anything. I was just, bowing down and letting it be. But then as soon as something in me hit rock bottom and something changed, I was able to speak up, and then that's when I started to see things change with him. Now, it wasn't perfect after that point. The abuse had stopped. Everything stopped when it came to with that. Now, the manipulation and the emotional abuse still continued for a little bit longer, as he started to really find, like, within him what was going on. I would say that everything finally came to head last year, as far as like the emotional part of it, where everything started to heal. Not the abuse. The abuse did stop way before that, but the ability for him to be okay inside, where he was being self-reflective, and like going back to all of his actions, and really trying to find why he was doing it. As he started to pull all this out, that's where the healing started to go, and our relationship just completely flipped over, and we started from the ground up. Like, our relationship was down in shambles, and then all of a sudden it was just like everything, all the dust was made into bricks, and now we're putting those bricks back up and building this secure foundation. It is really hard to explain in this short of a time. I do have to get going though, because I've got to get dinner started pretty soon. But it's been a really challenging, educational, exhausting, but very rewarding journey for us. And if anyone ever wanted to be like, okay, I need the full story of, from A to B, and then you want to get his side of the story, we're happy to talk about it, because it is a story of being so in the depths that you can't see the light. You're in this hole, it's so dark, and you don't know how you're gonna get out of it. And then all of a sudden, with you don't know where this comes from, but this hand just reaches down and pulls you out, and then you start to heal. And it's just this like wow type of like what is going on. And it honestly, with our relationship, It's just like a light switch switched and both of us, and we both just like, wow, we really went through all this. And look at us now. We were able to self-reflect. We do that often. We'll just lay in bed and talk to each other about, like, how like 3 years ago we were doing this and doing that, and how like broken we were, and how we were questioning if we were going to make it. And now look at us. We are so strong right now. We communicate. We love each other. Not only in a lover's way, but also as a best friend, as a soulmate, as an extension of us. We treat them as we would treat ourselves. We love them as we love ourselves. That's what we are. We are one. And it's like, wow, we actually did it. We did it, and we're doing it. And we continue to do it. We're continuing to heal. We're continuing to build that foundation, brick by brick, day by day, second by second. We are building that foundation, and we get to look back and like, oh my gosh, all these people who ridiculed us, all these people who are like, you guys just need to give up, stop, And I was told to leave. Like last year, after I got back from my visit with family, we had a major fight, and it actually was one that this was back in May, I think, of last year. This is our last fight that we had. It was a big one, and it was just like, I honestly was so, I was so shooken. I was outside in my sweater. It was still chilly, and I just had my shorts on, and I was out there, and a neighbor had seen me and was like, let's go ahead and go. You need to, because I was just a mess. I was crying, and I didn't know what to do. And I remember them putting me up in a hotel for the night. I was able to reflect, calm down, center myself, and I know that the entire way to the hotel, they were telling me, you need to leave. You need to get rid of that person. They're just going to continue the abuse. It's never going to stop, and you're always going to feel like this. So they were putting negativity into me, and I'm like, I didn't quite listen to them. I did take information from them, from a place that helps women who has gone through abuse and such. And I was like thankful and grateful to them for what they've done, because it meant a lot to me to have someone that I didn't really know all that well pull up for me, and that day. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen with us. And after being away, I went home. I didn't talk to my husband the entire day. He didn't know where I was. He had no idea that I came back. I walked from the hotel to here, and I just sat here, and the only thing I could think about was, am I going to let this be the end of us? Am I going to let this one thing be the end of us? And it was revolving around trust. He had lied to me about something, and it was major to me. And he had hid it from me because he knew it would hurt me. And I have to understand that the reason that he did hide it was because he didn't want me to get hurt. And he also felt ashamed. So I didn't let it be the end of us. That night we talked until really late, into the next morning. And I think we didn't go to bed until, I think it was like 6 a.m. We stayed up talking and talking, and we laid out everything. Everything was aired out. The reason that I had left, the reason I stayed at a hotel, the reason I didn't talk to him for an entire day, I laid all the reasons out, and then we asked some difficult questions, and that's when we came to the conclusion that we're going to do better. We're going to do better to understand each other. We are going to do better to extend each other respect and the forgiveness, and understanding that we're human. We're mankind, womankind. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to hurt each other. But what we're going to do is we're going to calmly talk through the hurt, talk through the pain, and we're going to heal, and we're going to grow together. And at that point, we just completely changed. Like, our relationship got so much better. It's almost like when I look back at the person I used to be and our relationship, how it used to be, I can hardly recognize it. I can hardly recognize because of how I felt then and how I feel now. I feel safe. I feel loved. I feel understood. I feel taken care of. I feel like I can tell him anything and he is not going to get mad at me. I can express my feelings openly. I can express if something he did or said hurt me, and he doesn't take it as an attack, and he gets the same in return. If I say something and he comes to me and is like, I don't take that as an attack. We talk about our problems. We talk about anything that's a pain point in us. We talk about something in our relationship that we need more of. If we feel that we're disconnected, we take time for each other. It is just so much different now. And the only one that I can give credit to for giving us that strength to get through all those years of what happened between us was God. I didn't know it until recently. I didn't know until I started my journey last year. But it's just like, there's no way that I was that strong. No way whatsoever. So, definitely glory to God. And I'm always so thankful and grateful for him, for extending that mercy to us, to be able to say, I'm going to get you through this. I've got you. It did. So being with my husband brought me closer to God. Through all the trials that we went through, brought me closer to God. He's the only one who's been able to do that. And then me, for my husband. How difficult I've been. All the demanding and things that I was asking of him. He, at the time, thought it was so much. Why would I have to give up my life? Why do I have to change? You should accept me as I am. He started to understand that, wow, I wasn't that great. You know, I was arrogant. I was selfish. I only thought about me. I didn't think about anybody else's feelings. I did what I wanted to do. I didn't care about anybody else. And he started to realize that that behavior is not good. That was not a good behavior to expect, especially when you have a partner. And he started to change his way of thinking. So that was a trial for him. All of that brought him closer to God, is bringing him closer to God. So it's just like, it's so amazing how the Lord can take and use somebody to work magic, to work the miracles of what he does. It's amazing. So glory to God, love to God. Our Father loves us so much. I should probably go. I gotta let the doggos out, and then I have to get dinner started before hubby gets home. I'll get some pasta in his tummy, because I'm pretty sure he's hungry. His lunchtime was at 12, and I made him 3 BLT sandwiches. That was delicious with sourdough bread. Oh my gosh. And then I pan toast it, so it's got the buttery crisp to it. He devoured them. So I'm always happy to fill his tummy, and to cook for him. I love to see his expression when he eats something new. Like yesterday when I made the crab rangoon, cucumber salad. He's not one to eat like a salad like that, cucumber salad. And he devoured it. He loved it. So it's just like, I love cooking for him. It's one of my love languages. So anyway, thank you so much for hearing me rant. Thank you for watching the game. We didn't get to my camp building, but that'll be on the next stream. Hopefully they fix the ghoul soon, so I can get that done. And then we can start doing the ghoul gameplay. That means we have to do armor, we have to get weapons, and make sure that's good. And then also do our perk cards. Hey, you guys, patience. Yeah, we'll do that at the next time. I will do another stream probably tomorrow, so we can do some camp building. We'll do more talking about God and life lessons and the amazing things that he does for his people. And then we'll do a little, we'll delve into some scripture too, and maybe do a prayer. We'll see how much time I've got. I'll probably be able to do 2 hours. We'll see. No promises. My voice is my throat's feeling better, so I definitely won't have that as an excuse to lay off. So I do plan on doing one tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. I want to know if any of the stories that I do resonate with you. And if you're going through something that's very similar, and you're conflicted on if you should stay or go, want to hear more, reach out to me. I don't in any way, when I tell stories about things that have happened, I don't ever want to show that person in a negative light, because everything that has happened to me is a lesson. And the lesson is that you have to extend mercy and your forgiveness to people, no matter what they've done. Because, like, how are we expected to ask Jesus for forgiveness if we can't forgive ourselves or anyone else? It's a life lesson. So I don't want them to be made out as bad people. They just do what they do. They don't know. Most of the time they don't know. And when they do find out, it's a beautiful thing when they do see the error of the ways, and they start turning to the Lord, and they start to repent, and then they start to just act out of love and speak out of love, and you start to see that transformation, and it's beautiful, and it's worth all of the pain that happened, to see that person just blossom into this beautiful soul that was trapped in the world, in the matrix, as they say. So please don't think of the people that I know I don't say names or anything, but I do give specifics, like my husband and my family. So don't think of them as in a negative light. I surely don't. It's just me sharing my story of what I've gone through, and the lessons that I've learned from these experiences. I still love my family despite anything that they've done. Nothing's going to change that. I forgive them for what they've done. I forgive everybody for their actions against me. There's no ill will feelings to the people who took advantage of me. Not one. I don't even think that they were aware of what they were doing. They thought it was okay because of the lifestyle. Unbeknownst to them, it wasn't okay. It was me being taken advantage of, but I don't hold that against them. This is just lessons I've learned, so that way that I can, tell people my story. That's it. It's merely it. But again, last time, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I will again be on tomorrow. So if you want to catch that broadcast, just let me know. If anybody ever wants to jump in a broadcast, I just ask that you be respectful. I don't want anybody on that is going to be negative or be vile or anything like that. But if you genuinely just want to, like, hey, game together and talk about the Lord and maybe talk about the things that happened in your life that brought you closer to our Father, or anything, if you have questions, if you want to go over Bible verses, anything, we can game together for a little bit, have a live stream going, and just spread the word of God and the love That's all I want to do. Just feel free to reach out to me, and we can make that happen. I'm on PlayStation, so you do have to be on PlayStation to do that. But you know, anyway, I will end the stream now. Catch you tomorrow. As always, you do matter. You are loved, and you are wanted in this world. Peace be with you. God bless, and until tomorrow. Bye.